Reserve time.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the GameShow Invitational. We have Game 2 incoming between Burden United and Fiskestanga. Game 1, well, BU just crushed it. They absolutely demolished Fisk, and I don't think too many people were surprised at the result that BU won. Maybe a little bit at the result that they won that convincingly. We'll see if Fiskestanga can bring it back. I'm Mikelorus, going to be joined by Danelie for this Game 2. It's hard to say what they have to change because, well, for Fiskestanga, really nothing seemed to go right for them.
Absolutely nothing went right except for the first blood for Queen of Pain, the mid lane. That was probably the only thing that really went right for them. But aside from that, it was just completely outplayed by Burden United. So yeah, from this game, this is the second game of this best of 3 series. Fiskestanga have to win if they want to bring this into a game 3. Are there any signature styles that Fiskestanga typically play when they are behind that they're comfortable with?
I don't. Again, I haven't seen Fiskestanga in quite a long time, but for any team that's in this type of situation, I think what they have to do is just scrap any sort of semblance of strategy that they had for Game 1. Clearly, that's not the strategy that's going to work, and just try something drastically different. Try to go for, the early game pushing on their end. Starting out with the gyrocopter obviously doesn't indicate they're going to go for that type of strategy, but still, for Stanga, it's a strong start, as we saw. If their gyrocopter play is a shade of Sing Sing's in the last game, then they'll be in a much better position by default.
Yeah, this also has to be a deny pick, because if Fiskestanga doesn't pick this up, I have a feeling Burden United would have secured that pickup for Sing Sing. So the fact that the hero was available in the pool, Fiskestanga, they're going to have to change their play around just to accommodate for the gyrocopter. But because of the way gyrocopter is as a hero, you can play him in that early game aggressive position just because he has all of these spells that function during the early sections of the game, and then it can scale on later on with the flat cannon once he has items. So pretty flexible hero. Burden United themselves, they're going to pick up the Beastmaster and Queen of Pain, so they have a lot of nuking potential with the Queen, and now they have some disable as well as extra vision because of that Beastmaster. This is actually pretty scary from Burden United.
Yeah, so getting the Roar, unconditional disable versus that gyrocopter, of course, very useful. We did not see the Beastmaster in the last game for Paris. We instead saw the Clockwork, and that's mostly because this game, yeah, you can grab a Clockwork, but up against a gyrocopter, you really don't want to. So swapping that hero out for the Beastmaster, I think that is completely justified and completely understandable from the PU side. Beastmaster, Queen of Pain, that is quite a bit of damage and quite a bit of, I guess, global threat. Like, the fact that wherever Fiskestanga go, first of all, they're likely to be spotted. Second of all, they're likely to be spotted and killed off by a Queen of Pain, is really going to force their movements. They're going to have to really be careful where they go places and with how many people they choose to move. But if BU do grab anyone else with a little bit of mobility, like a Shaker with a long-range stun can also fill that role, then Fiskestanga are going to have to play very scared in this game, and that's not good.
Fiskestanga so far have stolen 2 heroes from Burden's draft last game. They second pick is Shadow Demon. I don't think I've ever seen Fiskestanga play Shadow Demon.
They just got beaten by the gyrocopter Shadow Demon opening, though, so I guess if it works for them, it could work for us too. That's the thinking. We just went over the Shadow Demon gyrocopter opening for BU in the last game. The same exact things apply, and well, we didn't really see a ton of it. Really, the Shadow Demon and gyrocopter, the one that BU played, they were very independent heroes. They kind of just did their own thing, especially in the early laning stage. Maybe in this game, we're going to have Fisk stick in the lane a little bit more. If they catch Beastmaster in a bubble, then he won't have, cogs or anything like that to save himself. So, yeah, the Beastmaster's going to take a beating from there on out.
So second phase of ban, looks like both teams are putting a lot of emphasis on supports. Disruptor, the interesting ban for Burden United. It's very scary to play up against Disruptor. Just too much crowd control, and if he gets the setup, Static Storm, Kinetic Field combo can just completely destroy what Burden United has. Fiskestanga, they get rid of a team fight support. They get rid of the Witch Doctor. Do you think that they would have picked up a Witch Doctor, or would you actually suggest other supports? I guess he's a very versatile support just because of what he does.
Doctor's never really going to be a bad hero, so I guess if the enemy team needs supports, and, well, Burden United do need supports, then you're going to take that one out. Like, Gyrocopter, Shadow Demon, yeah, they're powerful, and no one's going to deny that. They're not really hard countered by any one hero in particular, or any one aspect in particular. I would say, CC is what you want up against Gyrocopter, but they already have a Roar. BU, if they grab a Lion as their third, they will have more than enough CC to handle anything that Fiskestanga grab, whether it be a Storm Spirit or otherwise.
10 seconds.
I'm looking at what Fiskestanga is banning out, and these are the supports that you typically pair it with the Void. I think we're going to be seeing a Void this game. Might be an offlane Void though, because they've secured a Gyrocopter, and the synergy between a Gyrocopter and a Void, it's there. You're going to have the setup for the Chronosphere, and then you also have the Gyrocopter with the cooldown. So I'm going to call it. I want to say it could be a Void. Are there any other heroes that you would normally pair up with the Witch Doctor slash Scarlet Mage? Maybe Centaur?
I mean, really, just they have stuns, they have silences. They're really heroes that I would expect Fiskestanga to go for more than to ban out. Like Fiskestanga, if they grabbed a Scarlet Mage here, that would be reasonable. Not really the best setup with the Shadow Demon, but great versus that Queen of Pain. Void would have been like a sick combo for them to get off, but BU are going to grab the Bane, partially because Bane is pretty sick, partially because this pool of available support heroes is drawing thin. Bane versus Gyrocopter, it's another, I guess this one's a little bit more conditional, but they have now two ultimate disables that go through BKB, and a third ultimate that's damage goes through BKB. Gyrocopter is probably going to get locked down in these fights. I think it's probably a safe assumption.
I can't help but feel like Burden is actually going to pair up Alina with this Bane, because there's just going to be the setup for the LSA now, because you have that Nightmare. So if they pick up Alina, if the Alina gets an Aghanim Scepter, she's actually going to have she'll have pure damage for that Laguna Blade. So BKB, we don't even know if they're going to pick up Alina, but it is a possibility for Burden because they still need one more support. So if they just go for this BKB piercing draft, what would a Gyrocopter end up having to pick? He could still pick it up to avoid a lot of the disable. Fiskestanga doing the smart thing. They're going to pick up the Lina because they have the Shadow Demon to pair up for the LSA stack.
Yeah, Bane and Shadow Demon very similar in that regard. They usually just set up for things, although BU can still go for a Mirana, which was banned out in the last game after BU grabbed the Shadow Demon. So, Bane, Mirana, Shadow Demon, Mirana, small differences here and there, but the early game laning stage, at least the plan, is always the same. So if BU want to grab that, they'll be okay in doing so. Fiskestanga have a really dangerous tri-lane right now. First of all, just Shadow Demon into Lina, that's really dangerous. You add a Gyrocopter on top of that, and things are going to be dying very quickly, very often for the BU side. BU, they have a couple of defensive tools, I suppose, in like the Blink and offensive or defensive Nightmares, but other than that, there's no great way for them yet to peel away from that type of combo for Fiskestanga, so they should be, for the most part, just trying to avoid that.
Yeah. So Burden United, they're going through a lot of reserve time for this fourth pickup, and they're really taking into consideration what they actually need, and they are going to go for the Mirana. So lots of synergy so far. If you look at Burden's draft, you have the Bane Mirana combo, you have the Queen of Pain as well with the Beastmaster. Oh god, this is going to be a hell of a game. Both teams are just drafting so aggressively. We're going to be seeing fights non-stop, and I'm actually going to make a bet with you, Mike. I'm going to be expecting not just first blood within the first 2 minutes of the game, but maybe 3 kills within the first 5 minutes.
I will take that bet.
10 seconds
I don't know what we're
You'll
betting,
take that bet?
but deal.
5 seconds.
I'll buy you a beer next time I'm in Southeast Asia.
I don't drink, man. I don't drink. You can
Well,
buy
then
me a bottle of water.
I'll get you a Coke.
You don't drink
then.
either.
Coke is
Okay,
probably
that's
better anyway.
You don't drink either. I'll get you a Coke if you win.
Dude, this is like
Deal.
a PG-13 draft.
This is so gay.
Oh man, that's
We're
guys.
so late.
Yeah, apparently
We're
we're
so
both
late.
just like 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's a truth fact. We are both literally 10
Well,
years old. But BU,
This is the problem.
grab
The problem when you're
Piranha.
Asian.
This is a hero that Sing Sing has played the crap out of back when he was on C9. I don't know if they're going to give it to Sing Sing, but if they do, then, well, first of all, he's very comfortable with it. Second of all, he has Bane to set up. I'm usually not a huge fan of Mirana played as a core hero, simply because so many things have to go right. But I think in this game, they could probably get away with it.
Yeah, they really could. Invoker pickup though for Fiskestanga. We very rarely see this hero picked up. You could do a lot with an Invoker. You can go for the Control Invoker, you can go for DPS Invoker. Would you expect this to be a Crosswex Invoker this game? Because I feel like Fiskestanga, they need a little bit more control. They do have a lot of damage already between the supports and the Gyrocopter. But could they maybe accommodate for an Exort Invoker? I don't think they really need the damage.
Yeah, I think the Exort Invoker is never going to be like a bad build to go for. Well, I guess
5
there's no
seconds
really
remaining.
bad build to go for. They're just optimal and a little bit less optimal. But yeah, between the Shadow Demon and Lina already, that setup with the Gyrocopter is probably going to be enough damage to kill off anyone from BU. At that point, you could just go for a Wex build. Like having Tornado as just a utility tool, canceling out a Fiend's Grip or something like that, having EMP to force BU away from any fights they would want to go for. Like if they commit a Roar, they want to go in there, obviously, but they can't go in if there's an EMP in their way. I think it's probably going to be the more desirable build for this Invoker is BU grab a Bounty Hunter as their last pick. Okay, is it too late to change that bet? Because BU are probably going to be looking for a lot of kills now.
It's a Coke. It's cheap. It's probably gonna be like 50 cents because, you know,
50
Asia,
cents?
super
What
cheap.
kind of Coke are you drinking? Jesus. That's...
Oh my goodness. I didn't actually drink that much Coke, so I have no idea what it
5
costs.
seconds.
I
that
know,
is
I know, I'm
just
so
so
lame.
sad what you just said right there.
But I know. Please don't
Reserve
remind
time.
me. But Bounty Hunter, I'm actually expecting a courier death as well within the first 10 minutes. Fiskestanga, they're going to take a step back in time. They're going to pick up a Tide Hunter. Pretty solid offlane. Lots of crowd control, but the cooldown for that Ravage is way too long, I feel, for what could be a very action-packed game.
And if you look at BU's cooldowns, like, they really only need the Roar to get going. The Sonic Wave is just like a kind of bonus extra. If they have it, great. If not, no big deal. BU's cooldowns are very low. They'll have a lot of uptime. I think the thinking behind this Tide Hunter is pretty much the same thing as I described for the Wex Invoker. If they roar, then they're just going to be brick-walled by a Tide Hunter. And for BU, they have a lot of stuns, but those stuns don't really do that much against Kraken Shell. So Tide Hunter is ideally for Fiskestanga just going to be that tanky front line. And together with the Call Down and the EMP Tornado, or I don't know, any Invoker, Exort Invoker skills that it wants to drop, Sunstrike, Meteor, those types of skills, that could be a lot of teamfight for BU, and if BU aren't really prepared for that, then they are very fragile. They are going to get just destroyed by that amount of AoE. So the upside for Tide Hunter is certainly there, and he is survivable up against what BU have early on, but that Ravage cooldown is just backbreaking.
So we'll see if Fiskestanga can accommodate the cooldown on the Ravage. Maybe they can manage to survive through the early game, mid game, and go into that late game with a double Ravage Tide Hunter. But aside from that, we'll introduce the teams really quickly. I will do Bird and United this time because I did Fiskestanga the first time. We have Come With Me, who's going to be handling the Bounty Hunter up in the top lane. Down towards the bottom rune, we have, is this Paris on the Beastmaster?
Yeah.
Yes? I was actually
Maybe
going
he's
to call
going
him
mid? I don't know.
Rat-tat-tat-tat. Sound effects. My Nuts on the Vayne. We have Sing Sing, who's going to be handling our Marana. And lastly, we have Rise, who will be on the Queen of Pain.
Oh, and Come With Me. This could potentially be really bad, but right now they're going to put LL Stanga
30
on the
seconds to
Gyrocopter.
battle.
Ingmunder is on the Shadow Demon. Miggy is on the Lina. Got Clay's on the Tide Hunter, and that leaves Joey on the Invoker. These are, with the exception of your Gyrocopter, not the best heroes to have at level 1, and Come With Me is going to get a perfect read on all of them. Random Sentry Drop, that would be hilarious to see, but Come With Me should not get picked off here if he plays his cards right. Actually, he doesn't even have to play his cards right, he just has to back off and not play the game at all, and then that's usually a lot better. It is going to be Quas level 1 for the Invoker. He does grab the Null Talisman first, usually indicative of a Quas Wex heavy build. Otherwise, you grab Exort, and then you just don't need that extra stat item from Null Talismans because you have so much damage already. So he's going to probably go for a heavy Wex build, but oh my nuts. He has a Boar here, but that's it. Marana is pretty far away with the arrow, but again, this is Tide Hunter. He can grab Kraken Shell. He might need to. It's too late for him now, though. He's stunned up for a very long time. Come With Me's going to close, and he grabs Anchor Smash, but he's surrounded completely. It's going to be Come With Me to draw first blood, and that was a very easy first blood at that for BU. Expect a lot more of those types of pickoffs in the future.
Man, that was the best thing that Bird and United could have asked for, because all of a sudden you have a Bounty Hunter who gets a little bit of EXP. He didn't even get the Bounty rune earlier in the game, so just having that little bit of extra EXP to work with means that when he goes for another rotation, if he can get another kill, he's going to get level 2, and that means that he can be more aggressive when he tries to go for some of these rotations. And the fact that down bottom it's completely empty for Fiskestanga, they're leaving a lot of uptime for Sing Sing on Marana as well as My Nuts on the Bane. So it's wasted EXP, it's wasted space. They're going to TP down at the Gyrocopter. They're going to have to bring somebody in though, because this combo from Sing Sing and My Nuts could potentially kill him, because he is very squishy, sitting at only 500 HP.
This gyrocopter is eventually going to have help from the Lina Shadow Demon, but they're going to take a pit stop over in the mid lane first, try to go for Ryze. Ryze will see that one coming. Pretty obvious because Tidehunter has shown his face up towards top that they're going to dissolve and switch these lanes. So Stanga just going to swap their top and bottom lanes. Tidehunter versus Beastmaster. It's not really the worst lane for Beastmaster, but this is a very Tidehunter favored lane scenario, just because Anchor Smash versus melee heroes is ridiculously broken. And Vegas, not Vegas, my god, Tradata was Vegas' old tag. Paris is going to still get his experience, and that's really all he needs. And then you have the bottom lane scenario where Sing Sing and Minuts are up against now 3 heroes. First of all, landing a Nightmare and actually having it stick is going to be a lot more difficult. And then landing the arrow afterwards is pretty much impossible. So this lane from BU is no longer really going to work.
Although mid lane looks like they're going to try and go for a kill onto Joey, and well, they got 3 heroes here, although Minot's way too far away, but doesn't really matter. They do get the kill onto the Invoker anyway, so Burden United, they got their primary target. Come With Me on the Bounty Hunter is now level 2. He's got Janata, so when he goes for these rotations, it's going to be very difficult for Fiskestanga to actually get those heroes out unless the supports are nearby, but they have to defend Loki Loke. They can't leave him out here by himself because a gyrocopter during the early game is actually very squishy and very easy to kill. You mentioned Tidehunter having a very good matchup up against Beastmaster. I kind of want to disagree. Beastmaster will do okay because he's always going to have the boar. And if Clays ever gets caught out, he's not going to be able to crack and shell off the boar slow because it's just always going to be there.
Like this, like the Nightmare setup arrow is not going to work this time. Tidehunter, though, is going to take a hit very hard by those axes from this Beastmaster. They'll kill him off regardless. He will take one more tower shot, 8 HP, and Paris gets to live. TP's back home and will be A-okay. They're playing musical lanes right now, BU, and so far it seems like it's working out pretty well for them. They have dissolved the bottom lane, seeing as though that scenario, as I said, just is not going to work at all. And they really just want to be up against one hero all the time. And if that hero is a Tidehunter, then so be it. This is going to throw the Beastmaster to the Wolves, perhaps, but he already has level 4, so his Boar and Hawk are going to be a nuisance for Stanga to deal with. And just off of these 3 kills, BU find themselves at a pretty substantial advantage, not to mention the fact that Necroman is handily beating the Invoker in mid.
Fisk and Stanga, they have to do something for Joey in this mid lane. Joey is just not getting anything, and the fact that he died one time up against the Queen of Pain is just making life so much harder for him. He's 1 level behind the Queen of Pain. You do not want that. You want him to either stay toe-to-toe with the mid Queen of Pain or to actually be ahead. You're just going to pop the Cold Snap to harass Ryze a little bit, but he's got a bottle, so he's going to have regen constantly going in his way. Clay's on the Tidehunter, picking up the regeneration room, but it means he's not getting anything in lane. Oh, Mickey.
Yeah,
Poor Mickey.
He's not going anywhere anytime soon. That Boar is so sticky. And now into Ingmunder as well. Boar connects once, although it does lose its aggro. He doesn't have another summon, but he has another set of axes soon. And this Shadow Demon has boots Beastmaster a little bit swifter. Ingmunder maybe will get away. Looks like, yeah, Paris is going to peel off. Not going to chuck those axes, but still, it's a free kill. Super soft hero. Level 1 Lina in the middle of nowhere. Having to go all the way from top to bottom, and top lane, speaking of, Clay's going to get hit with some stars. Kraken Shell level 2 is going to protect him by quite a bit. It might be enough to keep him alive, and it will be. But still, this Tidehunter is getting absolutely jack all in the top lane, and in the meantime, bottom lane, the supports from Stanga are also getting absolutely nothing.
The supports on Fisk and Stanga, they're just so busy down bottom, they just can't rotate into any of those other lanes, because if they do, it means that they're leaving that gyrocopter exposed, and he's pretty much their only hope, considering how their other 2 lanes are doing. Minot's on the Bane, just being super annoying to Clay's. Clay's just going to try and fight him off, but you got to be very careful. It's a Bane Mirana combo. He could die anytime if those 2 heroes have enough mana for that the Arrow Nightmare combo. Mid lane, it looks like they are going to try and bring some supports in to help out Joey. They are under the cover of smoke. Will they find anything, though? If they do, it'll be a big win.
The only hero that they can reliably find is Come With Me, who did make his presence known because he had to Shadow Walk in the middle of the lane. So you do see that puff of smoke, but he has Arcane Boots. He's okay with spamming those Shadow Walks every single time. And if he does get close enough to Joey just to land that Janata hit, is at the very least going to force the Invoker to panic, uses Tornado in EMP to just try to keep him safe, but Minot's up towards top is going to get caught, put into a bubble with a curse on top. LSA is there as well as Dragon Slave, and Minot will die. If things were really bad for Stanga, that Centaur would have taken the kill, but instead it's going to be Joey in the mid lane to launch the EMP. He's actually going to pop his Ghost Walk, and now they want in. Come With Me is going to eat one too many tower shots. He will live at 10 HP though, and Necroman still can dive this if he wants, but if he blinks in, he won't have a blink out. Joey really flirting with death right now, but man, Come With Me playing things a little bit closer than it really should be.
It was actually a crucial mistake from Rise. He was roughly in this position and he threw the Sonic Wave in this direction and Joey was literally right here. So he just missed him on the edge of that Sonic Wave. If it connected, they should have gotten the kill onto the Invoker. So the fact that that happened, missed kill opportunity for Burden United, and all of a sudden your Queen of Pain has no ultimate for the next minute and a half. So it's an opening for Fiskestanga where they can be a little bit more aggressive with their ganks and not have to worry about a Queen of Pain blinking in and going for a Sonic Wave.
And, well, maybe they're just going to be okay with that, have their Invoker get free farm without really worrying about his own death, and then go for an aggressive play up towards top. They have level 3 Anchor Smash, yet no Ravage. Level 2 on the Shadow Demon, level 3 on the Lina. Catching this Mirana is going to be difficult, but possible for Stanga's side. Killing off Minot's a little bit easier. He is going to spot the Tide. Tide has no Gush, though. Has a Ravage. Will use it just so that the allies can get a little bit closer. There's a Brain Sap, though. Can keep Minots alive. Now Ingmunder tagged with an arrow. Minots will Nightmare himself. That'll get the deny. And they will not be able to chase down for Beaver Knight. In the meantime, they did take down the Gyrocopter. You can only assume Roar was involved, and it was. Yeah, that's a big kill going the way of BU, and they lose pretty much nothing.
So that's what happens when you leave the Gyrocopter on his own. He just gets absolutely, I want to say wrecked when he's by himself. Even though he's level 6 with the cooldown, if he doesn't have anyone there to reinforce, or if the heroes are tanky enough to actually survive the burst, then he can't really do anything by himself. So even though Fiskestanga get a support kill, they lose their hard carry, which is something that they definitely don't want. They're trying to recover their other lanes, but it's going to be at the cost of what could be their only hard carry. And while Joey going to be jumped on to an 80 EMP combo thrown out Rise, he's just going to juke the EMP, but come with me. He cops quite a bit of it. Joey, he did go into Ghost Walk, but he came out of it. Now, will Burden United turn, though? They've got 2 heroes here still, but I think come with me. Just thinking a little bit too low. Going to actually go for a cute bottle swap here with Rise. Going to pop the regen and pass it back. Nice team play for the Burden.
Creeps? Why are those guys there?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. Well, they get come with me back up to full mana, full health. They're still applying a lot of pressure to Joey, but he is at least starting to get some semblance of farm. But problem for Stanga right now is the fact that Bounty Hunter, it's 9 minutes in, he's pushing that level 6 really, really rapidly, or at least a lot faster than we ordinarily see from Bounty Hunters. So BU are going to have this snowbally status going, and going back to this core Mirana, usually, as I said before, not really a huge fan of it, but when you get acceleration from tracks, then Mirana becomes a lot better as a hero. Everyone becomes a lot better as a hero. Who am I kidding? But Mirana becomes at least viable. Now, Ingmunder, he's going to be jumped by Come With Me. The dust is going to land. Bounty Hunter is going to dodge the tornado. EMP is going to connect with the LSA. That'll burst down the Bounty Hunter easily 100-0. Come With Me in the wrong neighborhood. I guess just didn't expect that many heroes to be there, and is going to get punished.
Oh, that arrow. Ingmunder actually getting hit by a Sing Sing arrow. Long range arrow as well, but he doesn't want to commit to the kill because level 8 Mirana, yes, you can get a free kill in that situation, but chances are you are going to die. Mid lane though, we lose Invoker yet again, so Joey having a really rough time. Was that also Raw committed? Yes, it was. So Burden United, even though they're losing heroes, they're getting kills elsewhere.
Yeah, every single time you have this roar up, ideally you want to be using it, and so far Paris has been playing that one almost to perfection. So many Beastmaster games where Beastmasters sit on roar for like 14 minutes, don't use it, and then use it one time and then it fails. But hell, if you have this unconditional stun, you want to use it. And you also have a boar who, I mean, the slow is really the important part of the boar, but really 60 damage per shot this early on, that hurts like hell. And now they're going to try to go for Clays up towards top. Arrow is going to be coming in. It's going to hit him pretty hard with the Brain Sap. Starstorm should instantly get this kill. Beaver Knight's going to get held out. There's the bubble. Going to keep that Thunder safe. Beaver Knight is going to leap away from the EMP, and they're going to instead try to chase for Minuts. No, they're going to try to chase for Beaver Knight. Clays gets backed up by his entire team, but BU, they commit 2 heroes to that, and yeah, they don't get the kill, but they also force a whole bunch of heroes to come in. Arrow's going to almost connect onto Clays. Oh man, that was so close, but there's 4 heroes now up on Stanga, 3 heroes in the bottom lane for BU, and BU can push faster than Stanga right now.
Yeah, and Fisk and Stanga, are they really going to take this trade? They're going to, it looks like they are. They're not going to bring anybody down. And their bottom tower, it's going dangerously low. They do pop the fortify. It will refresh though. Now, Burden United, what are they going to do? Are they going to keep on going for the tower, or will they go for the defense? Tower looks like it's going to be the priority. Now, are they going to TP up? That's the question. Do they have TPs available? They do have them on 2. Come with me, gonna go buy his own. And they're actually bringing in Sing Sing as well, down from the mid lane. And here we go. First TP coming in. That's the Beastmaster Disruption. Already under 1 here. Minuts, it will connect with the LSA, but Stanga roar into Joey, and he goes down way too quickly. Ravage committed, but only gonna connect on the 2 heroes. So the rest of Burden United, they're free to do whatever they want. So all of a sudden, they lose a support. They're gonna lose another, as well as their Tide Hunter. And well, Fiskestanga, they didn't even get the tower, which is sitting at 30 HP, and it'll be denied.
That is just insult to injury, salt in the wound, whatever you want to call it. There were 2 track kills involved there from that bounty hunter. I think it was the first kill for BU, or the first kill on that snipe on the invoker that really got them that level 6 on bounty hunter. Therefore, a ton of extra gold for them. Oh man, that was just absolutely nothing going right. As you said, Beaver Knight's now going to chase down LL, who's stuck in a narrow corridor. Arrow is going to miss though, and Sing Sing will have to back off because of it. But still, for BU, they get 2 towers and deny one of their own. If no team fight happened, that would still be really, really good for BU. But the fact they also got a 4-0, just, oh man, that was just backbreaking for Stanga. Now they also have no Ravage. That's a whole minute and a half extra now, where BU will be able to roam around and feel pretty free to do whatever the hell they want. And what they want to do is catch Clays right now. Tide is going to make the smart move and back off the safest way possible. It looks like he should survive off of it unless this arrow connects. It's very close. It will land. He walks right into it. But now they have to walk around the tree line and actually kill him off. That's the hard part. Come with me once in, though. This is not really a fight that Bounty Hunter can take. Suddenly Tornado and EMP. Come with me. I don't know what you're doing, but it's not a good idea. There's 0% chance he got the kill on that Tide Hunter there.
Loki, actually bought dust for that situation alone. So he really wanted that kill. So, well, at least Fiskestanga got something. They will lose their Lina in the process, though, and that was in the jungle. So they actually commit anything big. No, they didn't, actually. It was just Queen of Pain being there. Sonic Wave is still there, so that means that team fight potential for Burden United is still available. And the fact that Ravage is still down, it's pretty big. It will sway in favor of Burden United unless they just screw up in the team fight somehow. But let's take a look at farm for both teams. We've got 3 heroes on the side of Burden United leading in terms of net worth, which is huge. You look at their draft, their team fight is, you could say, considerably weaker now compared to Fiskestanga, but because they're ahead, team fighting is just so much easier. They're ahead in levels, they've got farm, they're getting items on their heroes, and it's just going to make execution so much easier. Mid T1 going down, and Fiskestanga, they're just going to hoof it. They can't fight. They need everybody.
BU, they kind of do want to fight. They have the Roar available once again. They're going for double Necrobooks, actually. Queen of Pain as well, going to buy one. A very rare build, a very old build for the Queen of Pain. But in this game, when you have so much AoE that's randomly going to be thrown about... Oh, they connect with an arrow onto Joey. He is going to get brought down really quickly. No, and he's still going to survive at 20 HP. They snipe the Bounty Hunter. Now they're going to go for Sing Sing. He does have a leap out, and he will dodge LSI. Sonic Wave onto a whole bunch, though. Is going to collect a couple kills for Rise. Now the Fiend's Grip onto Clays. No real follow-up for this one. Here comes the Roar. Will land onto Igmunder. Rise still alive. Will get tagged with a rocket, but he's still surviving. Has a blink out as well. Will blink right to the high ground, taunting Loki Loke. And Minuts and Paris are going to lay into that gyrocopter. Grab a triple kill for the Beastmaster. Looking for Joey as well, who just bought back. If he dies here, he shouldn't, but yeah, he will survive. But man, for BU, trading 2 for 5 like that, with fighting through Ravage and Call Down and everything in the book, that is another fantastic fight for BU, and it looked really bad for them. Like, they brought the Invoker very low, yeah, but the fact that they kind of trickled in one at a time, that's less than ideal. And no, Stanga, they're not done yet. Joey is on the hunt right now with the Ghost Walk. BU know about this. They're going to dust up, track him up as well. Arrow is coming through, which will not connect, but it will force all the supports out of position right now as they chase forward for more. Axe is crushing me. He's health pool. The Stars will finish off the Lina. Now they're going to finish off the Invoker, who just got put into a bubble. He will go down. Clays has nothing to do here, nor does Igmunder. These 2 heroes are so dependent on the rest of their team. LL's coming in, though. Call Down going to connect one rocket onto Minos, but not the second one. He'll slip out of there. Now Rise going to come right in with the Stars onto LL. They'll kill him off. Paris is going to be a casualty right now, but everyone's dying to tracks on the Stanga side. It's a triple kill for Sing Sing. I don't know how many tracks were involved there, but I want to say most of the heroes in Stanga were tracked up.
Oh god. We just saw the Shuriken in action. Just having the 2 tracked heroes and just having them both take the Shuriken toss damage, it's disgusting. It's max Shuriken as well, so both of them just copying the full 375 damage. Obviously negated by some magical resistance, but yeah, the mid fight before we saw that fight that we just did, oh god, I can't even speak English today. But that mid fight, it looked almost good for Fiskestanga. It looked like they almost won it, and then all of a sudden Burden United just turned it on its head, and the same thing happened in the jungle. So Fiskestanga, no matter how much they try to retaliate, Burden United always come out ahead. So with Fiskestanga, they're constantly trying to fight against Burden United. Are they going to have to change their stance? Do they have to fall back into that defensive position and go into Turtle Dota? Do you think they'll have a chance to come back if the gyrocopter gets big enough?
Yeah, I mean, it's still not out of the question for them, but losing Munder here definitely not going to help out. He'll get sniped very easily. They need this Tidehunter Ravage to be there with the call down. Like, they still have a ridiculous amount of team fight. Add an EMP on top of that with a Tornado, and BU are going to get crushed, because they're still a little bit soft, but so far, the calldowns and Ravages have been used almost completely independently of one another, whereas for BU, they have these like spammable skills. They have another arrow which will be free-handed connected by Beaver Knight, track onto Clays. This time though, Clays has Ravage and a hell of a lot of backup, so they can't go in on that, but they also just need levels on Stanga. Like, this Lina just picked up level 6, so Laguna Blade is finally available. If they had a level 8 Lina and Shadow Demon every single time they went for those types of pickoffs, then they would have been getting so many more kills, but instead, they're just getting sniped down by Arrow Sing Sing with an insane arrow connect rate. Is going to once again be forced to bail out because the tracks are going to spot out everyone, but Stanga, they have all their ultimates up right now. This is going to be, I would say, a justifiable push for them, as BU might just want to completely avoid this, although they do have level 3 book on the Queen of Pain, level 2 on Beast Smash. That's 5 points Necro Book, 17 minutes in. That's like 5 more points than we usually see. They're looking for a Sonic Wave from the side. Rise has a pretty good angle for 3 right now. They have a track onto Ingmunder. Boar going to connect with a slow as the Necro units do get sent in. Fortify as well. Ingmunder is going to need some help right now. If this roar lands, that could be really bad, and it will. That's going to burst down the Shadow Demon immediately. Call down. Going to hit onto no one as Miggy is going to escape. They get on to Come With Me and Rise at the same time with the Tornado EMP, but Rise has enough to blink out. All the spells missing. Now Sonic Wave under 3 as Beaver Knight jumps in with a Starstorm. That'll be a complete team wipe, and BU, they got hit by like none of those skills that I just mentioned. 18 minutes in. GG.
And it's a GG. My goodness. Fisk and Stanga, they've just been absolutely face rolled, and Burden's gonna go ferocious. Oh my goodness. There's not much to say about the game. Fisk and Stanga, they just got rolled. They got outplayed, they got outmaneuvered, they got outganked. Burden United, they were just always that one step ahead. And Fisk and Stanga, they had a draft where if they had a couple of counter kills that went in their way and they had some more farm, then maybe they would have had a chance to come back against Burden. But the fact that Burden just constantly fought, we mentioned earlier, they've got lower cooldowns constantly. So it's absolutely fine for them to keep fighting, whereas Stanga, Ravage, long cooldown, they just can't fight as frequently, and being behind doesn't help that matter.
It just seems like Stanga are in... They just got outclassed, like, in every aspect in both of these games. If you take, what is it, like 30 minutes or like an hour, 30 minutes with draft time and everything like that for a best of 3, then, oh yeah, something definitely went wrong. So BU, they are going to crush through Stanga. That's going to put them in second place in the group of Group 3, and both Stanga and Horde with 2 losses are, I think, just knocked out. I'm not completely sure about that, so I don't know how many games have yet to be played. No, this is the last set, so yeah, it's going to be BU and Moscow 5 to advance from this group, so congratulations to BU. They absolutely destroyed Stanga, and that is going to unfortunately mark the end of the stream today, guys. Only the single solitary best of 3, but we do hope that you enjoyed the cast. If you did, be sure to hit that follow button. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at Mikelorus for me, at Danelie Casts for my co-caster. It's all in the title right below the stream right now, and that is going to be that. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been a pleasure. GG.
GG.